How do? It's time for Spider and Old Scooter again. This is the conspiracy edition, and I'll be talking about that. New stuff on the screen. This is to remind us all that you can go and hear a sample chapter of me reading my book, called Ms. Time Tripping with Amazing Females. You have to kind of ignore this low-res thing. It's just an artifact of me putting it on YouTube. But it's chapter 7. It's sort of in the middle of book 1. And my hope is it would give you a flavor of the thing without giving it away. And I'm going to go back and reissue the first 6 chapters in the preface and everything. And there will be a free ebook of Ms. And the only way you can get to this and actually listen to it is through my blog. I probably could set it up so you could get it through here, but I don't know how yet. So here's my blog, seniorjunior.blogspot.com, or con as it says here. I'll let you out for a second. Isn't that cute little thing here? Speaking of cute, watch this. I don't know why. I don't know how it got to be that way. That's my spaceship. That's my bad guy. This is a space web. That's the water planet. All water. No rock. Nothing. Just water clear down to the core, and it's not frozen. It's not compacted. And the whole planet's bigger than, or as big as Jupiter, and was manufactured by an alien race with some kind of weird technology. How about that? Sci-fi fans. Alright, let's get down and play a little Spider Solitaire. Thus the name, Spider and Old Scooter. I'm clearly Spider, and we're going to play a game of Old Scooter. The 2-suit version, wow, look at all those reds. So I'll just grind along here, do the best I can. There are a number of things to do here, which is always fun. I was playing by myself, non-YouTubing this afternoon, and got a game in which the first 2 deals, there were no moves. Never got that before. I hear rain. I never know what this microphone will pick up, but we've had little waves of showers that have come through. Some with and some without lightning. Those with lightning encouraged our 3 brave Airedales to go down into our basement, which is basically underground, which is very, very quiet. And they go down there, and the thunder does not reduce them to terror. They can barely hear it, or not hear it at all, I think, sometimes. Why am I calling this the conspiracy edition, you might ask? You might not. Well, let's see, now that's a little gambly of me, but we're having a heck of a first deal, 13 moves, and I only had to cross the color line once, and I only tied up 1 queen. And I've got 2 other queens, so you see my logic. Conspiracy is that, why not? I think if it's a rational conspiracy, there's probably nothing really wrong with it. It may be dead wrong in terms of its factual content, but what can it hurt? Well, obviously, some conspiracy theories hurt a bunch of stuff. This one seems relatively tame. Okay, here it is. We hear all this self-contradiction coming from the Trump White House. He says one thing, and then the next day he tweets something almost the opposite or substantially different. Then maybe in a press conference he'll say something else that seems at odds with the first 2 things. Or one of his spokesmen will say something, and then he contradicts the spokesman, then maybe he comes back and contradicts himself. It's quite amazing to watch. Well, there are all of these attributions for why he would do that, so here comes mine. This is my conspiracy theory on why the Trump White House puts out so many contradictory and changeable statements about the same issue, knowing full well everything he says is on video, audio, Shinolio. I mean, it's on everything. You can find it. So how could he do that? Well, first is that I think any theory has to say getting caught is way down the priority list about why he would or wouldn't do something. He doesn't mind getting caught, apparently. So that makes possible this thing in my conspiracy theory. They have lots and lots of feedback research from their supporters and their opponents and all kinds of, they go to vast quantities of research through such organizations as Cambridge Analytica, putting it together in a usable form where they can find just the right people to send the right message to and so forth. And so they figure out from all their focus groupy kind of stuff that this cluster of people, important to his base, say the Breitbarty kind of people, the alt-right, and all of the sort of hangers-on. I read Breitbart all the time, interesting group of people. So he has one message that he knows that they will love. Doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. His research says these guys will love it. And his targeting makes it so he can, that Cambridge Analytica stuff, where they know who you are and where you live and what you think and what you want and what you'd like to hear. So they'll send you that message that they know from focus groups you're going to love. Then they have another group over here, which are the Republicans who are still hanging on with him. They're not as hardcore, but they're still, you're my guy and you're on my team, or I'm on your team, or somebody's on somebody's team here, and I'm going to support you even if it's with gritted teeth. They, the focus groups say, would like to hear a slightly different message, maybe a contradictory message. So he puts that together, very carefully crafted to please those people. Hits them with this great targeting, but the word gets out that he has told the Breitbart people one thing and the waffling Republicans another, and they're contradictory. And he said the last one because he likes it. It makes him feel good. It's maybe what he believes or people he likes believes or so, for some other reason. And he targets that one. Now all three are out on purpose. On purpose. And the rest of the conspiracy theory is kind of not theory, it's proven fact, is that people believe what they want to believe. So the Breitbartian crowd hears this other message that he put together for the waffling Republicans, and they think, oh no, man, you know, we heard about this through Breitbart, we heard about it directly from the tweets, we heard about this, we believe that is what he believes. Some of them are slightly bothered by the fact that he said something. People over at the other end of that, the waffling Republican crowds, they do the same thing. You know, he just says that other thing for his right-wing crazies. This is what he really believes because that's what I want him to say. That's what I want him to believe. And so it's all on purpose. And it's a strategy. It's a plan. It's not our crazy president, or why can't he keep his story straight, or he's a compulsive liar, or all those other things. It's a plan. It's a strategy. And that, boys and girls, is my conspiracy theory. I got so into it, I sort of forgot to play the game, so I'll try that. How are we doing on time? I think if I rush, I can finish this game. I don't think I have much else of any significance to say. Not that that was, you understand. That's just caught my attention. Great story. Got a piece here. Well, I'll play a little more game. It's only fair. Or I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you the story. Then I'll stop the recording, take the game down to the bitter end, bring you back, and you can see the finish. Sure. And remember, if you want... See, things keep going about madly here. Now, you go down, you come up, you go on top. There! You have to reassemble. It's like working in a room full of children's blocks. You knock them over, you know, and you have to put them back together. This, to remind you, if you want to hear the chapter of the book, you go there, and I think it's take 2 or something. You can figure it out. So, I will stop it now and go play and see you in a minute. No, in about 1/10 of a second. Hardly any time at all, eh? Well, I'm to the last deal, doing not badly. I'm $69 ahead, $5.50 to break even, $500 to get in the game. Keeps the riffraff out. And I'm a little ahead, and I'm about to go into the very last deal. Boom. I say boom there. I see right away we're going to have at least a few moves. Spider Mac, the artificial intelligence behind this game, had thrown a 3 threes defense at me and had me fairly well stopped, and I may be stopped altogether. I don't mind being stopped when I'm winning a little bit. I hope for better, but she pulls out all the stops when she feels me getting close to the finish line. Gave me 4 threes. And if you can't play 1 3, you can't play any threes. And if you can play only 1, you're lucky. What's this? Okay, that's a little something. As long as we're breathing, we're still alive. Oh, breath feels faint, if you know what I mean. Alright, I think that's about it, boys and girls. You see, am I leaving money on the table? I've done that before, believe it or not. Smart guy like me. Alright, I'm going to declare that I give up. Nice game, Spider Mac. I once again credit you. Great pixelated picture. She's always just looking you right in the eyeballs. Perfect. The last thing I'd want to tell you is a huge news story, in my opinion, is a kind of an advance of the story of Special Counselor Mueller's investigation of the Russian ties and influences on our election. And it's in Axios. I have a copy here. Axios is becoming one of my favorite new online news sources. The fake news industrial complex. A wonderful, short, pithy story about what they're discovering, and that hacking, getting into somebody's computer system, was a small part of what the Russians did. What the Russians did, and are probably still doing, is constantly trying to influence us with fake news, with conspiracy theories, that are exactly targeted to the people who are going to believe them, and which do the most damage, etc., etc. It's a very big, very important story on my blog. Boom. seniorjunior.blogspot.com. There is a thing about wisdom from the senior son. It's a post, I don't know, down the ways, in which my son Guy pegged this story 2 months ago. Way ahead of it. He's one of those guys who's always digging, and he came up with this story, and this is the story. So check out Axios, A-X-I-O-S, one of those made-up names. So I'm going to make up my bed and climb into it. It's been a pleasure playing with you. So, pardon the expression. Good night.